Okay, thank you. Taoiseach, I do welcome the first cross-government report on the budget measures to reduce child poverty and promote child wellbeing. And while progress on the 6 areas identified in the Child Poverty and Wellbeing Programme Plan has been made, I feel there's huge issues, and while I welcome the DESH and we know that huge money has been invested in schools, but if you look at it, almost half of children living in poverty have largely no access to these supports as they are in non-DESH schools. And we have a huge issue with, if you look at the home school community liaison scheme, it needs to be extended to all these schools. Children living in poverty can be vulnerable to dropping out, or parents can struggle to access a school place. We only have 120 educational welfare officers to work with thousands of pupils in an education. Like, we need to have these because we've got over 4,000 plus schools. This is just an example, Taoiseach. I have a child who started school in September and who needs a hoist for mobility, whose mother had to go to the school to lift her child in and out of the chair because the hoist that was there was unavailable. Now, she is getting one, but Taoiseach, I have children waiting on speech and language therapy. While I know there has been good improvements and I welcome that, there is still huge concerns. Thank you.
I just want to thank deputies for their questions. Deputy Murnane O'Connor mentioned DESH schools and the need for more education welfare officers, and I think we always need to remind ourselves that while there are a lot of children who experience disadvantage in DESH schools, most children who experience disadvantage are not in DESH schools, and that's why things like extending the Hot School Meals programme to non-DESH schools is really important and something being pursued very much by Minister Humphreys, and it's why I'm so supportive of Minister Foley in making sure that free school books is done on a universal basis, because just applying to DESH schools would leave out a huge number of children who suffer disadvantage but don't go to DESH schools, and nobody wants to see a means testing system for something like school books, and that's why we've gone for a universal basis. And I agree on the need to improve the provision of therapies, and that's why we're training more therapists.